They said money could buy everything. But for one of the richest men in Lagos, all his fortune could not buy back his daughter's smile. Then one day, a starving boy with no shoes and no roof over his head slipped into the mansion's garden. What he did next would not only bring laughter back to a broken child, but would also change the meaning of family forever. Victor Adewale was a billionaire. He owned skyscrapers, fleets of ships, oil wells, and had friends in every high place. The world called him the Iron King. Everything he touched turned into gold. But behind the iron gates of his Banana Island mansion, there was one place his wealth could not enter: his daughter's heart. 9-year-old Zara used to be the light of the house. She sang to the birds in the morning, chased the butterflies in the garden, and laughed so hard her giggles echoed through every room. But one rainy night, tragedy struck. A speeding truck, a screech of tires, a crash, and in a heartbeat, her mother was gone. Zara survived, but her little legs were left paralyzed. From that day on, the house that once danced with her laughter fell into silence. Doctors from Germany, surgeons from the US, healers from India, Victor spared no cost, but Zara's smile never returned. She sat in her wheelchair, staring out the window, her once bright eyes now clouded with sadness. Victor, the billionaire who never lost a deal, was losing the only thing that mattered. One hot afternoon, as Zara sat quietly in the garden, she noticed movement near the hedge. A boy, thin as a stick, barefoot, his shirt torn at the shoulders, slipped through a gap in the fence. His hair was messy, his lips cracked from thirst, and his knees were scarred from nights spent on concrete floors. His name was Tobi. At least, that's the name he carried. Nobody knew his full story, nobody cared to ask, but in that moment, when he saw the little girl in the wheelchair, something stirred inside him. He didn't have food to give her. He had no gift, no toy, no treasure, but he had one thing: his dance. So, without a word, he began to move, not like a trained dancer, not like someone on TV. He moved wildly, swinging his arms, stomping his bare feet, twisting his face into the silliest expressions. At first, Zara just blinked. Then, like sunlight breaking through clouds, a tiny giggle escaped her lips. Tobi fell dramatically on the grass, rolled and popped back up like a clown. This time, Zara clapped her hands. And then, after months of silence, something magical happened. She laughed. Not a weak, forced giggle. A real, bubbling, uncontrollable laugh. Her laughter filled the mansion air, and inside Victor froze. Victor rushed to the balcony. For months, he hadn't heard that sound. His heart raced. But when he looked down, his face hardened. There, in his private garden, was a ragged street boy, a trespasser. Where were the guards? How had he gotten in? His first instinct was anger. But then he saw Zara. Her cheeks flushed, her back straighter than usual. She clapped and laughed with all the energy she hadn't shown in months. Victor's breath caught, his fists unclenched. He didn't understand it, but he couldn't deny it. This boy was giving his daughter something all the doctors, money, and therapies had failed to bring back: hope. The next day, Zara waited by the hedge. And sure enough, Tobi slipped back in. "Are you ready?" he asked with a grin. She nodded eagerly. Before he could start, a deep voice interrupted. "Stop." It was Victor. Tobi froze. He knew that tone. The tone adults used before throwing him out or worse. "Daddy, please," Zara begged. "Don't send him away." Victor's eyes scanned the boy, thin, bruised, hungry, but his gaze was steady, not begging, not defiant, just honest. "Why are you here?" Victor demanded. "I saw her sad," Tobi whispered. "I thought maybe if I danced, she would laugh. I don't want anything, sir. I can leave after." Victor's chest tightened. The boy had nothing, and yet he gave everything. "Stay," Victor said slowly, "but only here, in the open. No mischief. Do you understand? "Yes, sir." Tobi nodded quickly. Zara clapped her hands. "Showtime," she squealed. And the garden became their stage. One day turned into three, three into a week. Soon the guards were told, "Let the boy in at 4, he leaves at 6, and feed him before he goes." Every day Tobi brought new tricks. He danced like a robot. He pretended to be a police siren. He acted out funny quarrels between market women and drivers. Zara's laughter returned, fuller each day. But more than laughter, something else was happening. Her arms grew stronger from clapping, her voice bolder from shouting instructions. She even tried spinning her wheelchair in small circles to copy his moves. Victor watched quietly. His heart, once made of iron, softened. One evening, Zara surprised them all. "Tobi, wait," she said, catching her breath. "I want to try something." She placed her trembling hands on the armrests of her chair. Slowly, painfully, she pushed. Her hips rose, her knees trembled. And for the first time since the accident, Zara stood. It lasted only seconds, but it was a miracle. Tears rolled down Victor's cheeks as he whispered, "You are brave, my darling. I am so proud of you." That night, Victor found Tobi sitting alone on the back steps. "Why are you here by yourself?" Victor asked gently. "I'm used to it," Tobi said with a shrug. "The streets are lonely." "Not anymore," Victor said firmly. "From today, this is your home. You will eat here. You will sleep under a roof. You will go to school, and you will never be invisible again." Tobi's eyes filled with tears. For the first time in his life, he wasn't just a boy from the streets. He was family. When the story leaked, the city buzzed. Some mocked Victor. A billionaire adopting a street boy, reckless, but others whispered with admiration. "Imagine, the boy is helping his daughter walk again." Victor didn't care about the gossip. "My daughter is smiling again," he said. "That is the only reputation I care about." Zara herself told anyone who asked, "Tobi is my brother. If you don't like him, you don't love me." And slowly, even the critics grew silent. With Tobi cheering beside her, Zara took more steps each day. She still used her wheelchair sometimes, but she was no longer afraid. Victor rediscovered fatherhood. Laughter returned to the mansion. One evening, as the sun dipped low, Victor watched his daughter walking hand in hand with the boy who once had nothing. Her laughter mixed with Tobi's playful shouts, and in that moment, the billionaire finally understood. True wealth is not in oil wells or skyscrapers. True wealth is in a child's laughter, in kindness freely given, in love that heals where money fails. He whispered to himself, "I thought I had everything, but I had nothing until I met this boy." If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Don't forget to subscribe for more unforgettable stories. And remember, sometimes the greatest miracles come not from riches, but from kindness.